Sometimes defining the relationship happens naturally. Oftentimes, someone just introduces the other person as their boyfriend or girlfriend, but in the case that doesn't happen, now you have some criteria to follow to discern whether or not now is the right time for you. If you've done everything leading up to this point, then she will have no reason to say no. She'll be so ready to say, hell yes, I already thought we were exclusive. Even if you strongly believe that you're exclusive, but you haven't had that specific talk, it's still important to have a direct conversation about where you both stand and make sure that you're both on the same page so nobody ends up with hurt feelings. So this is like how you actually define the relationship. Now that you've discovered like if you're ready to do it, now it's time to like figure out what to say to her. Some questions that usually come up at this stage in the relationship game are like, is it a turnoff for a guy to ask a girl to be exclusive, and does it give her all the power? And my answer to that is no. No, it does not give a woman all the power, and it isn't a turnoff for a guy to ask a girl to be exclusive. A lot of the time this happens quite naturally, like I said before, but it's always a good idea to have that conversation and make sure that you're both on the same page. Also, if enough time has passed without having had this conversation, generally the girl will bring it up if you haven't already. There isn't a secret trick or anything to this. It's just acknowledging the right time to have a conversation about it. So step one is quite obvious, and that's to make sure that you want to be exclusive with this girl. Step two is to get face-to-face. You don't have to make this as extravagant as the way that some people ask a date to prom, but the best time to do it is not during or after a fight, but maybe at a calm and happy time in your relationship when it's just the two of you and you're definitely not in front of a group of people or being pressured by your friends or anyone else for that matter. The time to do it is when it's just the two of you having a nice time. Step three is to like just choose your words wisely. This is where you don't want to come off like sounding desperate or like make it seem like you can't live without this girl right now. That puts you kind of in a needy position, whereas your goal is to pose this conversation as you going after what you want, which is to be exclusive with her. So now you're probably thinking, what do I say? How do I even begin to have this conversation? The best way to have this conversation is to be straightforward. There really isn't a super smooth way to go about it, other than to be upfront and honest about your feelings, and like just don't be embarrassed or discouraged if you want more than someone's willing to give you, because there will be someone out there willing to give you what you want. So instead of asking her if she's seeing someone else, I would just say something along the lines of, I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page. I think it's time we have the exclusive talk. My feelings are at a point in this relationship where I would like for it to just be us dating exclusively if we aren't already. This way you're not really accusing her of seeing other people, but rather you're just stating your intentions. And don't be embarrassed about having feelings for someone and are wanting to know where they see this relationship going. In dating and in relationships that move beyond friendship, we all hit that place of needing to know where we stand with someone. It's not actually as hard as a lot of people think it might be. If you reread some of the ways to tell if you're ready to define the relationship, you can bet that your girl will respond favorably to this conversation. You're just clarifying where you're at with this relationship and your intentions. You get rid of the ambiguity regarding your relationship status, and you can start moving towards the next step.